Discover the aphrodisiac plants used for thousands of years across cultures, from Ayurveda to traditional Chinese medicine, that modern research is now validating for their effects on libido and sexual function. For thousands of years, every culture on Earth has known certain plants that enhance desire, improve performance, and support sexual vitality. The ancient Greeks had their remedies. Traditional Chinese medicine had its formulas. Ayurvedic physicians had their tonics. Indigenous cultures across continents independently discovered plants that worked. But did they actually work? Or was it all placebo, folklore, and wishful thinking? Modern science decided to find out. Researchers tested these ancient aphrodisiacs in controlled clinical trials, measuring hormones, blood flow, and sexual function with scientific rigor. The results might surprise you. Many of these plants actually work, not through magic, but through measurable physiological effects. If you value evidence-based exploration of traditional wisdom, subscribe to Rooted Knowledge. We're bridging ancient knowledge and modern science. Let's begin. 1. Maca root. Maca grows at 14,000 feet in the Peruvian Andes, where almost nothing else survives. For over 2,000 years, Peruvian cultures have used maca to enhance fertility, stamina, and sexual desire in both men and women. The Inca warriors reportedly consumed maca before battle for strength and endurance. Spanish conquistadors noted that Peruvian natives used it to improve fertility in their livestock and themselves. Unlike many aphrodisiacs that contain hormones or hormone-like compounds, maca works differently. It appears to support the hypothalamus and pituitary glands, the control centers that regulate hormone production throughout the body. Modern research has validated traditional use. A 2008 study in menopause found that maca reduced psychological symptoms including anxiety and depression in postmenopausal women and improved sexual function. A 2002 study in the Asian Journal of Andrology showed that men taking maca experienced increased sexual desire after 8 weeks, independent of testosterone levels. How it works: supports endocrine function, helps body regulate its own hormones, increases energy and stamina, adaptogenic properties, improves mood and reduces anxiety, affects neurotransmitters, works for both men and women, not hormone-specific. Maca comes in 3 colors: yellow, red, and black. Red maca is traditionally favored for women's health, black for men's vitality and stamina. The powder has an earthy, slightly malty flavor that blends well into smoothies, oatmeal, or baked goods. This isn't a quick fix. Traditional use involves consistent daily consumption over weeks or months. The effects build gradually as the endocrine system optimizes. 2. Horny goat weed, epimedium. The name tells you everything. Legend says a Chinese goat herder noticed unusual sexual activity in his flock after they grazed on this plant. The name stuck. In traditional Chinese medicine, epimedium has been used for over 2,000 years to tonify kidney yang, a concept that roughly translates to supporting vitality, warmth, and sexual function. The active compound acarian has been studied extensively. Research shows it works similarly to pharmaceutical ED medications but more gently. It inhibits the enzyme PDE5, which allows increased blood flow to sexual organs. A study in phytotherapy research, 2008, found that icarian improved erectile function in rats with nerve damage. Human studies are more limited but promising. A 2013 review noted that epimedium extracts improve sexual function in men with mild to moderate erectile dysfunction. How it works: increases blood flow, mild PDE5 inhibition, similar mechanism to Viagra, may support testosterone levels. Animal studies show hormonal effects, improves nerve sensitivity. Traditional use for numbness, sensation issues, supports energy and stamina, adaptogenic, reduces fatigue. Epimedium is typically taken as a standardized extract in capsule form. The raw herb can be made into tea, though the flavor is quite bitter. Effects are not immediate. Traditional use involves daily consumption over several weeks. This is one of the few traditional aphrodisiacs that has attracted serious pharmaceutical interest. Researchers are studying synthetic versions of icarian for potential ED medications. 3. Tribulus terrestris. Tribulus has been used in traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda for centuries, particularly for male sexual health and vitality. In Bulgaria and Eastern Europe, it was a folk remedy for sexual deficiency long before modern research began. The plant contains steroidal saponins that appear to influence hormone production. While tribulus doesn't directly provide testosterone, research suggests it may support the body's natural testosterone synthesis. A study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, 2000, found that tribulus increased sperm production and sexual behavior in rats. Human studies show mixed results. Some find improvements in libido and sexual satisfaction. Others show minimal effects. The quality and preparation of the extract seem to matter significantly. How it works may support testosterone production, stimulates luteinizing hormone, improves sperm quality and count, multiple studies confirm, increases libido, reported in both traditional use and some modern studies, supports athletic performance, related to hormonal effects. Tribulus is most effective for men with low testosterone or sexual dysfunction related to hormonal issues. For men with normal testosterone levels, effects may be less pronounced. The plant is typically taken as a standardized extract. 40% saponins is common. Traditional Ayurvedic use involves the powdered fruit consumed with honey or milk. This is not a hormone itself. It's a plant that may help the body optimize its own hormone production. The distinction matters for safety and realistic expectations. 4. Damiana. Damiana is a small shrub native to Central America, used by the Maya and Aztec civilizations in spiritual ceremonies and as an aphrodisiac. When Spanish missionaries arrived, they noted indigenous use of Damiana for sexual vitality and called it the plant of love. The herb contains compounds that affect neurotransmitters, particularly those related to mood, relaxation, and arousal. This makes Damiana especially useful for people whose sexual issues are related to stress, anxiety, or being stuck in their heads. Research is limited but intriguing. A 2009 study in Phytomedicine found that a combination containing Damiana improves sexual satisfaction in women with low libido. Animal studies suggest Damiana has both aphrodisiac and anxiolytic anxiety-reducing effects. How it works: reduces anxiety and mental tension, calms nervous system, enhances mood, affects dopamine and serotonin pathways, increases sensitivity to pleasure, traditional use for sensation, relaxes smooth muscle tissue, may improve blood flow. Damiana is particularly valued for women's sexual health, though it benefits both sexes. The traditional use focuses on mental and emotional barriers to intimacy rather than purely physical function. The herb can be consumed as tea, pleasant, slightly bitter flavor, tincture, or capsules. Some people report feeling effects within hours, while for others it requires consistent use over days or weeks. Damiana represents an important category of aphrodisiacs, plants that work by reducing inhibition and anxiety rather than directly stimulating arousal. 5. Fenugreek. Fenugreek seeds have been used in Ayurvedic and Middle Eastern medicine for thousands of years, valued for hormonal balance, vitality, and lactation support in nursing mothers. The seeds are rich in compounds called saponins, which appear to influence sex hormone production. Modern research has focused on fenugreek's effects on testosterone and libido, particularly in men. A 2011 study published in Phytotherapy Research found that men taking fenugreek extract experienced significant increases in sexual arousal and orgasm. A 2015 study showed improvements in free testosterone levels in men supplementing with fenugreek. How it works: supports testosterone production, inhibits enzymes that convert testosterone to estrogen, improves libido in both men and women. Multiple clinical trials confirm, supports energy and stamina, traditional use as vitality tonic, balances blood sugar, may improve energy levels indirectly. Fenugreek is one of the better studied herbal aphrodisiacs, with multiple human clinical trials showing positive results. The effects appear genuine, not placebo. The seeds are traditionally toasted and ground, then consumed in food or as tea. The flavor is slightly bitter and maple-like. Standardized extracts in capsule form are also effective. For women, fenugreek is traditionally used postpartum for lactation, but also for libido and hormonal balance. For men, it's valued for testosterone support and sexual function. 6. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is one of Ayurveda's most revered herbs, used for over 3,000 years as a rejuvenating tonic. Its name means smell of a horse, both for its distinctive aroma and its reputation for conferring the vitality and strength of a stallion. While ashwagandha is primarily known as an adaptogen for stress, its effects on sexual function are well documented in both traditional texts and modern research. A 2015 study in Biomed Research International found that ashwagandha significantly improves sexual function in women, including arousal, lubrication, orgasm, and satisfaction. A 2013 study showed that men taking ashwagandha experienced improvements in sperm count, motility, and testosterone levels. How it works: reduces stress and cortisol. Stress kills libido. Ashwagandha reverses this. Supports testosterone production. Multiple studies confirm in men. Improves energy and vitality. Combats fatigue that affects sexual function. Enhances overall well-being. Better mood, better sex. Ashwagandha's aphrodisiac effects are largely indirect. It works by reducing the barriers to healthy sexual function, stress, fatigue, hormonal imbalance, rather than directly stimulating arousal. The root is traditionally consumed as powder mixed with warm milk and honey, or taken as capsules. Effects build over weeks of consistent use. This is not a quick-acting aphrodisiac, it's a tonic that restores overall vitality. For both men and women dealing with stress-related sexual dysfunction, ashwagandha addresses root causes rather than just symptoms. 7. Saffron. Saffron, the world's most expensive spice, has been prized as an aphrodisiac throughout the Middle East and Europe for thousands of years. Cleopatra reportedly bathed in saffron-infused milk, and Persian texts describe it as a remedy for melancholy and lost desire. Modern research has focused on saffron's effects on mood and sexual function, particularly for people taking antidepressants, which often cause sexual side effects. A 2012 study in human psychopharmacology found that saffron improved erectile function in men with depression-related ED. A 2013 study showed that women taking saffron experienced improvements in arousal and lubrication. How it works: improves mood and reduces depression, affects serotonin pathways, counteracts antidepressant sexual side effects, unique among natural remedies, increases blood flow, traditional use supported by modern vascular studies, contains crocin and safranal, active compounds studied for sexual function. Saffron's aphrodisiac effects appear strongest for people whose sexual issues are related to mood disorders or antidepressant use. For these populations, the effects are clinically significant. True saffron is expensive. Those red threads are hand-harvested stigmas from crocus flowers, but the dosage is small. 30 milligrams daily is typical in studies. The flavor is distinctive, floral, and slightly bitter. Saffron represents the intersection of luxury, tradition, and validated science. It's one of the few aphrodisiacs with solid clinical evidence for specific populations. 8. Ginseng. Panax ginseng. Ginseng has been central to traditional Chinese medicine for over 5,000 years, revered as the king of herbs for vitality, longevity, and sexual function. The root contains ginsenosides, compounds that affect multiple body systems including hormone production, blood flow, and nervous system function. Research on ginseng and sexual function is extensive. A 2002 study in the Journal of Urology found that Korean red ginseng improved erectile function in men with ED. A review in British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology 2008 concluded that ginseng has potential for improving sexual function, though more research is needed. How it works: increases nitric oxide production, improves blood flow to sexual organs, supports testosterone and hormone balance, affects hypothalamic pituitary axis, reduces fatigue and increases energy, adaptogenic properties, enhances overall vitality, tonic effects on multiple systems. Ginseng's effects are not limited to sexual function. It improves overall energy, mental clarity, and stress resilience. The sexual benefits may be secondary to these general vitality-enhancing effects. Korean red ginseng, steamed and dried, is considered most potent for sexual health. The root can be consumed as tea, powder, or extract. Effects build with consistent use over weeks. Ginseng is expensive, but wild-crafted or quality-cultivated roots are worth the investment. This is one of the most researched herbal aphrodisiacs with substantial clinical evidence. 9. Tongkat Ali, Eurycoma longifolia. Tongkat Ali is a Southeast Asian plant used in Malaysian and Indonesian traditional medicine as a powerful aphrodisiac and vitality tonic. Its common name translates to Ali's walking stick, a euphemistic reference to its effects. The root contains quasinoids and other compounds that appear to support testosterone production and reduce sex hormone-binding globulin, SHBG, which can free up more active testosterone. A 2012 study in evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine found that Tongkat Ali supplementation improved erectile function and sexual well-being in men. A 2014 study showed increases in testosterone levels in both men and women. How it works: supports testosterone production, stimulates luteinizing hormone, reduces SHBG, frees up more bioavailable testosterone, improves sperm quality, multiple studies confirm, enhances energy and reduces fatigue, adaptogenic properties. Tongkat Ali is particularly studied for men's sexual health, but traditional use includes women, especially postmenopausal women experiencing hormonal changes. The root is intensely bitter, traditionally consumed as a strong decoction or tea. Standardized extracts and capsules are more palatable and easier to dose. Effects typically appear after 4–8 weeks of consistent use. This is one of the more potent herbal testosterone supporters, making it valuable for people with clinically low testosterone or age-related decline. We've explored 10 plants that ancient cultures revered for sexual vitality, and that modern science is validating. Some work by supporting hormones, others improve blood flow, some reduce anxiety and stress. A few do all three. What's remarkable isn't just that these plants work. It's that diverse cultures, separated by oceans and centuries, independently discovered the same botanical solutions. The Maya used damiana, the Chinese used ginseng, the Peruvians used maca, the Indians used ashwagandha. None of these cultures communicated, yet they all identified plants that modern research confirms affect sexual function. This isn't coincidence. It's observation refined over thousands of years. Modern science doesn't contradict traditional wisdom here. It explains it. We now understand the mechanisms: hormone modulation, increased blood flow, reduced stress, enhanced neurotransmitter function. If this exploration resonated with you, subscribe to Rooted Knowledge. We're examining where ancient knowledge and contemporary science converge with honesty, respect, and evidence. Thank you for this journey. Until next time, trust traditional wisdom, demand scientific validation, and remember, these plants work because biology works.